Hello, it's Kai back with you today. I've got a little foiling project that I did earlier this morning. I just received this foiling edge, distressed edge die, and I wanted to use it for the card that I'm going to be making for my Clean and Simple sample card for the Split Coast Challenge tonight. So what I wanted to be able to foil on my base card, and I looked around and couldn't find any videos on it, and I thought, well, I guess I'll just wing it. So I was thinking, the paper that I use is Nina 110 pound, and I thought, well, that's pretty heavy duty. I knew that I would get an impression on the inside of the card, and that didn't worry me. It's a tent-fold card. I could cover it up with another piece of cardstock, but I wasn't sure whether or not I would be able to do it on the front of the card. So that was what I was looking for when I started this project today. It didn't quite work out as I'd planned, but I'll take you through the process. I made this little template the last time that I did some foiling. Where I sit, I just noticed that where I sit is right under the window and it faces west. So now the sun is starting to come around the south side of the building, and it changes the light on my desk. So pretty. Anyway, back to the card. So I waited for it to heat up. Now I made this template, and it fits the size of an A2 card. So you can see it hung up on the foil there. It's hot. That plate, that purple plate underneath is very hot. So you kind of go, oh, don't burn my fingers. But anyway, got it all laid down within reason. I figured it might be straight because the die itself is straight. So I just hope for the best. I only gave it 15 seconds. I felt that the die had sat on the plate long enough to heat, because it sat while it was heating up as well. So it's only 15 seconds that I ran this, and then I ran it through my Gemini Junior. So we just have a few seconds there. Of course, with it being humid lately, I shouldn't have rings on because my hands swell up terribly. But there we go. We're going to go through the Gemini Junior and see what happens with this. Ooh, so I was excited there when I saw that it was all on. Now it's here that I'm kind of, I'm not too happy with that, but in any event, I'm going to turn everything off and then look at it further. Now, in watching other videos, I had seen that you can scrape excessive foil off with your craft knife. You can also use a sand eraser, which I don't happen to have. I thought I had one and I don't. So I'll have to get one of those, but I don't think it's going to help this anyway. I opened it up, and yes, I got the impression, but it also cut the paper at the top, which quite surprised me. I don't know why I was expecting that it would do that, but in any event, it did cut the paper, and I don't want to send that to anybody. So I moved on to the next best thing. I could have done another try on vellum, but I decided I would just use this piece, waste not, want not, and cut it with on my cutter, trim it up, and put it on another tent-fold card. So that's what I ended up doing. I did go through the process of trying to take it off with my craft knife, but I felt I was doing more damage to the paper, and I wasn't going to like that. So as much as I like the idea, I'm going to have to think about something else, or maybe somebody else will think about something else where you can do this. This is my fabric cutter, And while it's easier on the paper and it does work, it still does leave a mark on the paper, so I gave up that as well. But it was much easier than using my craft knife. This doesn't have to have that same kind of sharpness that a craft knife has. So I gave it a go for a little bit. I don't think I went too long at this. I hope not. It's been a while since I edited this. Nope. Here's where I say, okay, I've tried enough, it's enough. So there, I've cut it. Now I'm going to be switching it around. I want it to look the other way. There's white on the left-hand side, and it's got the distressing on it as well. It's really quite pretty, this die. So, going to put it on the front of a new card and soldier on. So I decided this is Aurora foil that I used, by the way. It's Gemini's foil for hot press, and it changes color as it meets other colors. It comes into other colors. It will take on the colors that it's surrounded by. It's really quite pretty. I very much like it. So I'm just using my sweet petunia ruler there to, I like it that I can see through it and make sure everything's straight to add my piece. So I'm using Hero Art's butterfly stamp and die set, and I'm just going to do an easy Copic color. I'm not doing a lot of blending, starting with the lighter, going to darker, going back to the lighter. I just used 2 yellows and 2 purples, I think. I don't think I used 3 purples. I think the other one was too dark that I had. I don't have very many of the purple shades, quite honestly. So I just did this your basic way, you know, laying down some color, going over with the darker color, and then coming back to blend it all in with the lighter color. I usually do, like here I've done all the light, but then I'll just do half of the butterfly with the dark and then go back with the light relatively quickly, as I don't like it to dry too long before it has more of the shading put on. So I've just done that. You can see how many empty slots I have on that Copic sheet next to my hand there. So once this was done, I just did some styling with the butterfly. I'm using my styling tools, and I just used a simple sentiment that comes with the set, which I thought was quite sweet. I was thinking I might do some sweet sequins, but then I changed my mind. I decided, no, I'm just going to keep this clean and simple. It's for the Clean and Simple Challenge. Let's just keep it clean and simple this time. I have been known to get the challenge police called in the past. I think I'm using V. Oh, I do use the V, the third marker. So there you go, V12, V15, and V17. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment right now, and I'm using VersaFine Nocturne ink for this. It's such beautiful ink, as I've mentioned in many of my videos before. I just love how it goes down, and it, you know, one pass and it's a perfect stamping. I considered doing it in the archival ink in the purples, and I thought, no, I want a black sentiment. I want to tie in the black that's in the butterfly. So, and if that purple didn't stamp the way I wanted it to, then we're into another problem. It's so luscious, this ink. I have to get more. Rhea has lots of colors in the store here in Canada, and I really do need to get some more of these. Isn't it funny, when you get yourself ink, you always feel like you haven't gotten anything. You only get something when you buy yourself a die or a stamp. Ink, that's kind of just, you know, you have to have that. Which is silly. It's almost the same price as a stamp. Anyway, I style this a bit here. I'm using my medium size styler. And then I attach it using foam squares. I put them on either side of the center of the butterfly. I lay down the center part first of the butterfly, then attach it with the foam squares. I used Nouveau adhesive, which I really like. It's my go-to adhesive to glue on all my goodies. I get just this thin little bit. Works perfectly. I have the card upside down because if I didn't, I would put my hand in that pigment ink and ruin it. So I didn't want to do that. That's why it's upside down. And as long as I don't put the butterfly upside down, we're all good. I'll put the foam squares on each side. I enjoyed making this. It's been a fun card to make. There you see all my gray hair. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. And the little exercise on the foiling mishap. But that's what it's all about. Nothing ever goes smoothly. I thank you very much for watching and joining me. And I'll see you the next time I get a chance to do a video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.